All right, what up, gang? Welcome to the Footy Pod. I'm your host, Rhett, and today I have a absolutely wonderful guest with me. He's a man of many talents, but I'll say his best talent is that he is a phenomenal Super Smash Bros. Player. And today that is Ryan. Ryan, how are we doing today?
We're doing excellent. Smash Bros. Controller in hand. Thank you for having me, sir. It's great to see you.
It's good to see you as well. Thanks for coming on. Yeah, this is a good one because now the World Cup is finally over. All of the chaos. We know whether all of our Arsenal stars are hopefully being coddled, put into a cryo chamber,
alive and well somewhere.
Exactly.
Well, it's hard to tell if some of them haven't reappeared yet. So
that's what I'm saying. So, I guess to start, since I didn't have you on while the World Cup was going, it feels like it was such a blur now. What were your kind of, how was the World Cup for you? I know being a Frenchman, you wanted France to kind of do probably well. I thought they would get there, and they kind of didn't on my end. Yeah. But
I guess, I ref during the season for the spring and the fall, so I had just finished reffing when the World Cup kind of kicked on, so I kind of took a step back from soccer until the group stages got to the third game, and then I was like, all right, now I've had a little break, let me get right back into it. And I thought everything was going pretty much exactly how you would expect it all to go, but for the Frenchmen, that's just a weird one, honestly, how they decided to play really awful against Spain, I feel like, and almost no good explanation for it. So I guess once I started watching, I think the best game of the World Cup was England versus Mexico when they beat them in the knockout stages. I was ready for that one. I had put my North American hope on Mexico, and that game was amazing. So after Mexico went out, I kind of defaulted back over to France, and France only. And then I would have also taken England just so the Arsenal boys who are on that team could shine, because I feel like they deserve it I would be the most happy for Bukayo to win it and all those kind of guys and Eze. So I enjoy the World Cup, and World Cup in America. I didn't catch any games live, but it didn't seem like anything was a major disaster.
Yeah.
So we're kind of here for that, for America's reputation, I suppose, other than the red card reversal.
The red card reversal.
I think it was a little bit too much to do that. I know it was kind of an orange card, I would say, but it still stomped on that man's legs. And, at least Premier League wise, that would be pretty consistent with why they were giving out red cards all year. So I thought that was crazy. And I thought the United States played a terrible game against Belgium, which would have been that was like the perfect prey to win a big game with, I feel like a dying Belgium team, if you want to call them that. But another game that was just really disappointing by the team that should have been in head, just like when England lost to Argentina and they were like, let's do something no one's ever done before and just stand in our own box for 20 minutes.
Yeah, I think you summed it up. I mean, I think that was how a lot of people kind of saw the summer, and I feel like I knew who was going to be. Once you saw the semifinals, it's like, okay, this made sense, but then I kind of was like, oh, it's going to be, I just had a feeling. I was like, it's going to be England versus France in the final, and it's going to be a European clash, and it was the exact opposite of that. It was the other two teams that were in the final, which was fine, but were you ever dying to get down to Atlanta to watch a game, or did you have any thoughts about doing that?
So I did. None of them ever came my way. There was instead of having to go find my own ticket and do it all for myself, nothing came up. When Spain played Cape Verde or whoever, they played someone in Atlanta, Spain. I think it might have been the first game for of the whole thing. I was coming back from Tennessee that week, and I stopped in the Buc-ee's closest to Atlanta, and I was like, every single person in there was wearing a Lamine Yamal jersey. And I was like, oh, there's a game in Atlanta today. I hadn't realized. Drove through the city, didn't really see any differences, and then I even asked my buds who live in Atlanta if it made Atlanta crazy or if it got overly trafficky or anything, and they said it was pretty chill and didn't really expect it, but they also had those big watch parties out in, like, the big gardens and stuff where they seemed pretty awesome. Definitely would have liked to do at least one of those if I wasn't able to catch a game, but either way, didn't get to. Pedro, him and his dad got 2 free tickets from the British Bulldog. They went in to watch the opener,
Whoa.
whichever game that was, Mexico, and a Michelob Ultra representative they know gave him 2 tickets. And they were like, hey, here's 2 tickets to the Spain's first game at Atlanta.
Wow. That's incredible.
I know, what an experience.
That's actually
And then
crazy.
even, I guess he took his dad. I was like, of course, why wouldn't you do that? That's freaking awesome. Like, especially, I think the Mercedes-Benz, not having been to every other stadium that was available, but the Mercedes-Benz is so nice and so modern. Like, having watched some of the games while I lived in Atlanta for Atlanta United, it's beautiful. So that would be an awesome place to watch a soccer match. But I have always wanted to watch or go to the World Cup in another country. Just speaks more football to me, you know what I mean? More joga. But I would have taken the opportunity if it just did. So.
Yeah, it was also tough. Like the ticket prices were out the wazoo, which was a little brutal. I think even if you can pay the money, it's just like, okay, come on, like
it's just kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, it's just a crazy dollar amount to be. It's like, I get it. This is like one of the biggest things. It comes every 4 years. It's a big dog event, but man, like spending like over $1,000 on a ticket, or having to even think about doing that, or I know they drop down, but even like $500 for a ticket, it feels like a lot, man. Like, it feels like a lot whenever it's like, hey, aren't there like a ton of games going on? Like, why are these so expensive? Like, there's like a lot of games going on, for it to be like just so expensive. But hey, maybe you'll have I could see Mr. Ryan Ross being in Casablanca in Morocco for
That's what I'm saying,
the next
dude.
one.
That's it. I haven't been to Europe in 10 years or whatever, so I mean, it's time to go. Like, 4 more years, I'm gonna be itching to go.
Yeah. Where's the next
I'll be happy
Euros
to
at?
go.
Is the next Euros in England?
Yeah, that made me think too, but I have no idea. I feel like I've heard things about Portugal being one of the next World Cup destinations.
It's Portugal, Spain, Morocco. That's the
Okay,
next World
that's
Cup.
okay.
It's they're doing them in threes now, dude.
That's what and that would be perfect for me too. I gotta learn Spanish by then, and then I'll be plugged in.
Yeah,
Ready to
and dude,
go.
honestly, Portugal. I've only been to Portugal once, and it was like really fairly priced. Like, I remember
that seems
I was
fair.
in Lisbon, and I was like taking Ubers around, and I would be like, oh, I need to go 15 minutes away, and it would be like €3, and I'd be like, I was like, what do you mean? This is surely just like the first fee of many. And I was like,
That's
no, it
freaking
was like
awesome.
4. It'd be like 4. So I would I was like tipping 20% on each ride
Easily.
each time, because I was like, and they would be like, it'd be like typical, like, yes, all the foreigners are coming here, and they are taking all the land. They'd be like, every Uber driver would tell me that, and I'd be like, that's us.
I'm sorry, here's $20.
That's me. Having a great time.
Here's your reparations real quick.
Seriously.
Big tip. Big
Yeah,
tip.
and like, I think the most Kayla and I, now we're not heavy drinkers, but like the most that we spent on a dinner, I think, was like $75 or something like that. And
For 2 people, that's pretty
2 people,
fantastic.
great food. You know, I probably grabbed a beer, or something like that. But like, and we probably grabbed like a drink each. But like, that was it. Like, it was like, I remember being like, whoa, this is $130, $140 in Charleston, South Carolina. Like, this is like,
Yeah, you said it's almost not worth going out in Charleston. So, yeah, it really is so nice. That's why, living in Europe for that little bit of time, you're just like, they got it figured out. Public transport, hanging out outside, good weather. It's a great place to be.
They do, and they love the sport. They love footy. It's all around. It's gonna be that's gonna be a good one, man. Like, so I just checked. The next Euros it's England, Scotland, Wales. It's Great Britain.
The British boys.
Yeah, it's Great Britain is gonna be doing it. So, but like, yeah, dude.
Not as sexy, but good.
Honestly, dude, like next two being like one being in the UK, it's gonna be it'll be June to July. So that'll be. I mean, it's still fine in the UK around that time. It starts to get a little warm. They had like a heat wave there this year around that time, but dude, yeah, like the whole Portugal, like Morocco, like that's gonna be a whole vibe, dude. That's gonna be like siestas. They're gonna go bonkers, dude. It's gonna be crazy.
That's gonna have the energy you're looking for, right?
Yeah, and hopefully cheaper tickets. Like we all hope that like, hey, the tickets are not gonna be. They're gonna be like €50, or something like that. But it's like
that would be nice.
They can't keep up with that over there. Like it's not the same. Like the GDP of Spain is like of North Carolina or something, or New York.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, actually.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And the people who flew over here from Europe to do all those games, they must be that 1% of the European people. Like, good Lord.
Oh, man, dude. Like, I've got to think that a lot of people probably went into debt over this World Cup, if I had to guess, personally. Like, I think you see all the stats all the time that, like, I think it was, like, I saw a stat for Coachella, and it was, like, 90% of people who went to Coachella this year financed their way into Coachella, which is, hey, if that's how you want to get into it, like totally understand. Like people love Coachella. Like you do get to see a lot of really good artists and stuff like that. So, but I was like, that's obviously a very staggering fact there.
That's almost everybody.
9 out of 10 people basically that you see.
Very close to everybody. Like. That's just, I could see that happening. I was like, Alejandro is down in Miami, and he said he was out on someone's boat over the weekend when one of the games were on, and they had someone come pick them up on a helicopter and take them to the game in Miami. Like, that's the kind of money people were having to go to these games, and it's like, I ain't never going to order a helicopter for myself ever in my entire life, probably. So.
Yeah, dude. Helicopters scare the shit out of me, too. Like,
freaking watercopter coming to get you. I was like, but
I mean, being on a helicopter would be so cool, actually. But man, they're flimsy.
I've never been on one. Yeah, I trust an airplane, but helicopter seems. I feel like you hear more about helicopter deaths than you hear about airplane deaths. So
yeah, well, it's.
Like you're right.
I feel like I don't know, man. There's just a lot more. It's like the likelihood you're more likely, I think, to get in a wreck than you are to like crash in a plane, but at the same time, when that turbulence starts hitting on that plane, dude, you definitely think about it. You definitely think about is the pilot asleep? Was that a bump, or was that him hitting his head on the on the wheel?
The fucking steering wheel. A little nosedive. Oh no.
Dude, sometimes like I was really tired. I was flying the other week, and I was doing a red eye, so it was obviously pretty gnarly, and like but I was like, it was like 3 a.m. and we started hitting turbulence, and I was just like, I really don't care anymore. I'm like, I'm so tired.
I'm already asleep. It'll be an easy one. It'll be an easy one.
Like, I think we must be over the Rocky Mountains right now. Just if it is what it is, and whatever. Like it's 3 a.m. No one's gonna know until the morning.
I said I'll either wake up from this dream or who knows.
Yeah.
So.
Am I in the show Lost? Like.
Yeah, so. Well, hopefully they have some soccer there.
Yeah, seriously. Not to get all I guess negative. I do think of planes going down sometimes, but whatever. But well, dude, like now we've got World Cup's out of the way now, which is amazing in a way. So it's like done and dusted. Yeah. All right, cool. Everyone's on holiday, but like, dude, it's crazy. Like the next day World Cup ends, preseason. Preseason's like they're like.
Did that start?
Yeah, there's like they immediately started. Like literally the next day, everyone was like, "You're at the office, dude." For anyone that wasn't playing, so.
Yeah, I mean, like they had like that would have been like 2 months off, right? From the end of the season toward whenever they would have gone right back.
Yeah, I think so.
At least a month and a half. So,
His-
yeah, 6 weeks of vacation. You better get back in there and start running around.
Yeah. Basically, dude, like, it was like, hey, 6 weeks, I think that's a good amount of time. But you got to think nowadays, like, these guys don't really, like, yeah, they go vacation, but they bring their boots. They bring their boots. They bring all their
Yeah,
running stuff.
I'm sure
like,
they run. Half the players come back, like obviously stockier and more muscular, and you're like, okay, yeah, I'm like, you can't do that in 4 weeks, or at least 4 weeks is what you need. So they're not resting.
Yeah.
You would think a professional soccer player who has to get up and play sports every day, twice a day, would also need to want to go to the gym or do something when they didn't have to go to practice every day. Like, you're the same way. It's like you feel bad if you stop working out. So ain't nobody trying to do that, especially if you're an overly adept professional athlete. So
Yeah, I do feel like truly gone are the days, like the Roy Keane days when people would come back and they'd be like, I just drank beer for 6 weeks straight. Preseason was truly like, like me getting back in shape for the season.
yeah, like they needed it.
Like they actually needed that preseason, whereas like nowadays it's like it's more of just a formality instead.
Straight to match day preparation stuff, probably.
I think so.
A couple tests and then straight to it.
I think they just go in and they literally go, all right, let's just new season, whatever happened last season, we got that in the bank. Like, oh, you had like a ankle injury. Okay, let's do all the tests. Let's test your knees. How are your knees? How much whatever they do, like the force. You all see all the videos now. It's really cool. Like they like do all the force plates and like they do a bunch of stuff with it. And they probably take all that stuff and go, all right, like this is like baseline. That's where we're at. And let's test again and like right when the season starts or halfway through or something like that, and try to see where we're at. But it's a whole different ball game now, dude.
That's what you said. They're wearing the heart rate monitors this year, aren't they? At practices and stuff.
Yeah. So for Arsenal specifically, they've got the Polar heart rate monitor armbands on. Now every single player has one on, which I thought was really interesting that they're now, because they used to never wear stuff. They would wear those like the bras that they wear.
The vests.
And they have a little thing they pop in the back of them, and I think it tests their like, I don't know what it.
How much they move.
Yeah, it's like
probably it's movement, steps.
It's gotta be some type
Maybe
of
shots.
Movement / speed, like when it picks up speed, like using GPS or I don't know, something like that.
Yeah.
I've never really fiddled with one before, but the heart rate to me is really interesting because that's like they're now getting. It's just probably a ridiculous amount of data that they're getting in now.
You think that has to do with didn't the head physio change over the summer or something?
Yeah, we had some Arsenal had some backroom staff that did change. I think supposedly Mikel brought in some type of like third party guy over midway through the season to kind of like analyze and basically like critique. And then right when the season ended, it was like bang, 3 medical guys were out. So, which honestly, dude, like, I think it's with anything. Like, yeah, we had a lot of injuries over the season. When do we honestly at this point, dude? Like, when do we not have a lot of injuries? Like, we've had them for the last like 3 or 4 years straight, where we just have like, a bunch of injuries. So like, maybe they're looking at that, but I honestly just think it's good to have like new people come in every couple of years anyway, and like try new things and try new ways. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Changes their perspective. I mean, especially with not having known what the backroom staff medically was doing, but just having known that we've had an obscene amount of injuries. It feels like, and like as a player, it is kind of hard to say that would be your medical staff's problem, like or fault, perhaps. But if we're talking professional soccer like this, where we're all talking about margins all the time, then yeah, changing things around or trying something new if it isn't working out is probably fantastic. I watched a video today that was posted by Arsenal on YouTube, and it was every goal scorer's best goal from last season. So pretty hype compilation. And then you're just watching, and you're like, we're already so deep and so good, but half of these players were injured for half the year. If we could hold on to everybody, probably be almost fantastic. Like, what if we made no signings this year at all? Kind of, and just ran it back with the team we had last year, minus Trossard and plus Solis. We would be absolutely sick nasty, and nobody would be like they need more players. We would just be absolutely frying everybody.
Yeah.
But
if you could just keep Mikel Merino healthy, if you could just keep Makayo healthy, Kai healthy, Martin Odegaard healthy, if you just kind of keep a lot of those players healthy, you don't really... I think it's a little bit different. It's a little bit different of a year. I think we made it closer than we probably needed to, but like whatever it is, we got over the line. But yeah, I see. All I really see this summer though, from an Arsenal's perspective, I see us going and getting some type of midfielder, some type of center defensive midfielder, and I see us going for another winger. So I kind of see that. That's kind of all I see. Like, I don't really think we need, I don't know if they'll go for another right back. I don't know if they need another right back. I think that they because Yuri and Timber got injured more, and the World Cup kind of played a lot into not in our hand really. I think that they're looking at it and going, hey, I think at the end of the season they probably looked at it and said, we're going to sell Ben White and we're going to go get another player, right? And they're like, oh my gosh, Ben White got an injury at the end of the season, plus another one of our defenders got another injury, and it's like, oh, we might not want to lose both of these. You can't do both.
Yeah, I think that's the third option is another defender probably. If Saliba's not going to be out for 5 months, he's only going to be out for a few months, then hopefully, but you still need to cover for that. And then cover midfield. That's the thing is all right, so if we're talking about new midfielders, the depth is already Declan Rice, Martin Odegaard, Zubamendi, Marino, and then, you can continue to throw Kai in there, and then Wanyeri, and then Lewis Skelly, and it's it's really deep. How many who can we get that's this dude is at least starting or the fourth pick every week? It's just we're so good already, it's hard to find those options, I feel that are these are the guys that need to be on the team. Especially, that's exactly how I feel about the left wing situation. I love Martinelli. Really don't have a problem with him. I think he could have any random season, he could probably be wow, I just scored 20 goals. I just had the best season of my life. But we rotate a lot now, so you never know. But at the same time, it's I've been saying the whole thing is Vinny Jr. the best option for us? Because who else is really that much better? You got maybe Rafael Leao is super exciting, and that Kvaratskhelia or Dembele. Or it's just at this point in time, I'm not really concerned about the transfer market or the transfers that come in, because we already got it. And then even if the season starts and we haven't made any signings, it's we still got time, another month or whatever, to make more signings. So I'm chilling, perfectly happy. And now I'm just watching the boys come back. Hopefully they all come back. I don't know did you see Bukayo Saka's haircut?
Oh God, yeah. I was
that dropped on Instagram today. That was funny. He looks. I follow this one dude. His name is Shea Gunner.
Yeah.
He does a whole bunch of. He's hilarious. I saw his post about it. He was saying the only thing he can think is that Saka's hairline wasn't going to fit in the traditional Nigerian wedding hat, and that this man might be getting married sometime soon. Which is it's exactly what Mikel told them to do.
Everyone, you don't join this team and not get married.
Better have a serious love interest before you. That's when they're sitting down at the table with these guys saying, "How's your love life?"
Yeah.
What's it look
like?
Do
you need to go on Love Island? Do you need to get on there right now?
We could give you one summer of being a bombshell. We need you back and fit and married at the end.
There's no excuses.
Bring it back.
You literally I'm sure. When I think about how passionate Mikel is, I always think about he probably is having conversations with them about hey, are you guys, when are you gonna when are you gonna have a child? Literally, like, when are you gonna have something more than what you have now?
He's literally like, something's missing from your life, and I need you to ignite the passion again. Keep it going.
Yeah.
That boy is ripping on.
Yeah.
I love Mikels. I mean, who, you know, it's a funny thing our friend, you know, Colin Harris, another guy from home in soccer, he coaches all the time. He's been asking me to coach with them every now and then. He gave me the call. He said, "Do you want to be my assistant for a U8 boys team this year?" I said, "Absolutely not. I have no interest in hanging out with little kids for twice a week and giving my weekends away, but thanks for the opportunity." But I was just thinking about the way I would be as a coach. And, you know, you can talk about technical stuff, but I feel like for the most part, at least like skill-wise, which is where you would be with kids or, you know, up into teenagers, you just get some stuff off of YouTube and you give them the program and you run the drills. But I always thought that the best players, it's like an attitude thing and a passion thing, basically. So I was like, if I was talking to a little 8-year-old and they were asking me why they weren't winning, I would be like, because you're not trying hard enough and you don't care enough, and if you win a duel, I'm upset. I was like, I would rather just be a hard ass on somebody and be like, if you don't love this and you don't care, that's why you're not getting better.
Yeah.
Period. And that's probably where Mikel is coming from for the most part.
Yeah, 100%.
That's a fiery little man.
So like a year ago, obviously in the fall, I coached a U11 boys team, or I assistant coached a U11 boys team, right? And I kind of went through all of that whenever I was doing it, because my buddy was head coach, so he would do, but like whenever he actually had a couple weeks actually where he was gone, and I ran practices and I did all of it, and but yeah, I mean, it was interesting. Some of the, you know, you'd have, of course, like, and this was a mid-tier, not like an elite team, mid-tier team, and yeah, you would have some of the boys. You could definitely tell that there was like it was almost like maybe their parents had like kind of like, you know, they're just like their parents like kind of signed them up for this, or they do it because like some of these guys are like, it's a good social thing, and you know, they're
you got to do that as a coach,
right? But also some of them, there's a couple of them that you're like, they actually would come up to me and be like, "Hey, like I want to get better. Like I actually I want to get better a little bit." And I'm like, "That's great. This is a great attitude. Like you're not even on the top team. Like this is fantastic." Like, and so you would like I always wanted to like kind of ignite that and try to put a little bit of extra love into those players, right? And even like, try to give extra love to the players that even weren't trying to, because you'd obviously be like, okay, well maybe I can change that around. But I think it's funny because the young teams, you really think that you can give them these like talks, but their attention span is legitimately like, it's like you flip a coin and like by the time it hits the ground, their attention span's gone. Like like
no.
So many times I had to be like keep your eyes on me. Like, yeah, exactly. Like, I'm not a YouTube. I'm not a YouTube short. You know, like this is.
It's like, I got you for an hour, baby. You gotta pay attention.
Yeah, exactly. So I would try to give them. You know, my dad was like legendary for always giving good speeches, and my buddies used to always talk to me about it, and like I would like try to go on like a small little monologue, and they'd be like, some kids would just be like looking around. I'm like, oh. How do I reach these kids? Like Carmen.
They'll say you get the YouTube, you put it on your head, you say, right here, guys.
Yeah, literally. I've got Miss Rachel up here. Everyone look, you know.
There we go. My favorite.
Everyone's favorite, dude.
My favorite YouTuber. My niece's favorite. That and Bluey.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with those, dude. You know, I will say this is my one thing that I remember from, and I always feel like when I pick up things, it's always from, like, I'll watch, like, videos of, like, Arsene, and, like, he'll be talking, and, like, talking about anything, and I'll always have something I can, like, pull from whatever he's saying. He's just, like, legitimately just, like, a legend, like, honestly, but, like, I remember, like, one of my favorite things that he said was, like, was talking about, because a lot of the players when they were younger, especially like these 11-year-olds, they would They can play the ball and they can do their instep, and that's about it. Like some of them can barely shoot with their laces. Like they couldn't strike a ball very clean, but Arson always said like basically like your technique. So obviously whenever you technique whenever you're hitting a ball, like that's how many different ways you can hit the ball, right? Like can you hit it like downwards? Can you like chop the ball? Can you slice it? Can you do whatever? And he's like your technique is basically like it's like your vocabulary. And it's like how vast is your vocabulary basically. So like you can be that guy that's like, like yes and no. I can only say yes and no. Or you can say, yeah, like maybe, like I don't know, like, or like speak other languages. That's like your vocabulary, and how vast your vocabulary can be is like how you can, like when you're playing with the ball, like how can you express yourself, and like how many different ways can you play a ball basically was like how he elaborated on that. So I thought it was like one of the coolest things I've ever heard, because I'm like, it's so true. Like, the elite players can play a ball. How like Messi can hit the ball with the outside. He can trivela it. He can knock it. He can hit it with his laces. He can hit it however he wants. He can knuckle it. Whatever he wants. So
whatever the situation calls for.
Exactly.
Arsene was just a brilliant mind. It's like, I guess if I was just thinking about how coaches do things differently, like, I would even say that you don't, like, the English commentators always comment on how overly passionate Mikel is on the sideline. And they always say it in a derogatory way, because we all hate Arsenal if you're not an Arsenal fan.
Right.
But Arsene was, like, completely much more calm, but he had that same, I want to build you up, you guys can be great. He would do the same kind of thing to those people, but did it in a calmer, more dialectual way for sure. Like, I remember always seeing Ian Wright talking about it, and he'd be like, it was so strange going from the coach before, I believe, if he was there before Arsene was there, and then when Arsene got there, and he said, locker room went from, some coaches don't really, they're so short, and their vocabulary and their skill in coaching is like a very small, short way. But when Arsene got there, talks about how Arsene was always saying, you're playing so great, I'm going to continue to build you guys up, you can do this, go out there and play with passion. And I think having that kind of experience with Arsene Wenger would be amazing. Because that's Papa Wenger right there. He's an OG. I'm glad he's still involved in FIFA, whatever he is doing, because that's the kind of man you need guiding an organization like that, I feel like.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, 100%.
Love Arsene.
It was, he's just such a legend, honestly. He's just such a cool... You look at... And yeah, it's cool to see, like, a manager like him that's actually still, like, in the game. And, I think a lot of people have their views of FIFA, and especially nowadays, like, FIFA is getting more and more divisive as we go on, every day that we go on. And, like... But, like, at the same time, like, I like to think that he's going for, like, the true love of the game. He knows what the players want. Like, he's so prescriptive the way he talks. Like, even nowadays, like, he's a phenomenal voice for the game. And, him, I think, another great example is, like, Klopp. I think Klopp is really good for the game. Like, I think he, like, he speaks out very often. And,
straightforward.
And now he's a coach of Germany, dude, which is crazy.
They probably need one. I guess who has been there? Who was their coach for this year?
Julian Nagelsmann.
It was Nagelsmann. I feel like he's been there for a long time, and when you got Klopp running around, then isn't he the best option to have?
Yeah, but I mean Nagelsmann
as a German.
Yeah, Nagelsmann's been there since the last Euros.
Okay.
And so
they kind of underperformed both times.
They got to what did they get to the semifinals of the Euros last time, I think, but they played Spain. That should have been the final, I think.
Okay.
Because Germany played really good that whole tournament, like fantastic. They were on fire, like they were doing so well, and that one ended. Spain got through, and then obviously played England in the final, but like. But yeah, like, so now Klopp's going to be in there, which is good. We got Zidane is about to be the French national team coach as well. Like,
right.
This is big time, dude. This is crazy if you think about it.
That is a big that. All right, so it's all big time. So, but Thomas Tuchel stayed, right, at England. Like he didn't. What? So my thing with him was, where was Bukayo Saka in the Argentina game?
I don't know.
What was the deal? Did they have beef? Because then Saka posted about it, more or less. You know what I mean? In his, nonchalant way, he said, "Oh, all things will be correct or right or something at some point in time." It's just like they got beef. Like it was cool to start Nani Madueke when you didn't need to win the games, but now that you were in the semifinals, like, why would you not play Bukayo Saka? Like, was he hurt? Because he said he wasn't hurt. I feel like he said he wasn't hurt.
Yeah.
So
I feel like B's also the type of guy to play through a lot of pain, and I like to think they don't have beef. Tuchel has never been a coach where, like, from what I've read on him, that he like is like very
beef.
Yeah, like he doesn't like he's not like an Antonio Conte or a Mourinho where he comes in and goes, "You're not in my vision, you're out." He picked B for a reason, like, and I think they obviously have all the data at the end of the season with those guys on like where they're at and like physically and things like that. So I like to think that he basically just said, "I got to make a decision here, and this is like my decision, and it is what it is, and like damned if you do, damned if you don't." And he was obviously on the latter end of that. So but he bangs in a hat trick the next game against France, and it's like it makes it
for fun and giggles. Makes him look real bad. Yeah.
But I just don't think I don't think that he rewards him and plays him in the Browns medal match if he doesn't think that if they have beef. You know what I mean? Like if he has beef, like he's just not gonna play him. Like he's not gonna play him for the rest of the tournament.
Good point.
So
yeah, he had other options. Yeah, that's a good point. But then I just can't get around as an Arsenal fan, and I'm glad Madueke started too. Or if he did start, he didn't start, did he? Didn't they play someone else in the finals? Didn't they do the what's homie's name that went to Chelsea?
Morgan Rogers. Morgan Rogers. It was.
And then
was it Morgan Rogers? Was it Morgan Rogers and Rashford or?
It was Anthony Gordon.
Anthony Gordon. Okay, so Anthony Gordon.
Yeah, he scored. So then that's like, I mean, because Madueke played really bad, so that's fine. But geez.
Yeah.
I just I can't see a world where you were like, I think any of these players are better and consistent than Bukayo Saka is going to be in this semifinal World Cup game. But
yeah,
I thought that was crazy. I thought that was a little wild. But didn't the Arsenal boys look good in the third place game?
Yeah, Declan.
Arsenal 6, France 2 or 4 or whatever it was.
Declan smashed that first goal, and then B gets 3. I think Eze slots him in for one of those, like, which is good. I love seeing Eze like playing a really good role like in that team.
So good.
He's phenomenal, dude. I'm like, I'm thinking about this year's jerseys, dude, and I'm like, who do I get? And obviously I ended last year, for all the viewers, beginning of last year I got the white jersey, and then I got Sock on the back because it was just like such a legendary kit, and I'm glad I did because it sold out like quickly. But at the end of the season, I got a Trossard kit because he won us the league. I got it in a long sleeve. I got the home jersey. Which I'm like, usually like you'd be like, oh my gosh, he just left over the summer. I kind of knew he was gonna leave. I knew one of them was gonna leave over the summer, but I was like, he actually won us the league. Like, nah, I'm like, this guy's like a streets will never forget type player. Like, gotta have it. So
he's so consistent, dude. I just consistently inconsistent, but like when he had something he needed to do, I feel like it always got done.
Yeah.
Number 19, Leandro. That's funny. Those two players you just talked about, Eze and Trossard. When I was watching that video of the best goals for each goal scorer, I thought Eze had the best goal. It was that one where you might kind of got the ball played to him on top of the box. He did like a nice big open touch and it bounced and he half volleyed it and it was just like an absolute rifle. I was watching the highlight or the celebrations and Saliba's running around like, ooh la la, oh my god.
Oh la la, oh la.
And then Trossard's goal was super. It was Trossard's goal was the same thing, like a little shimmy, takes it over to the left, and just placed it in. I was like, he did that so many times that's the one that's gonna hurt. I hope. After he's gone, like I guess we do need a new left winger, but I guess as number 10 goes too, it was Emil's birthday today.
Yeah.
Another jersey you probably still have, right?
I still do have
Maybe
Emil.
we should call him back to play on the left. He could play left wing next season.
Emil's tough, man, because Emil has not. He's gone to Fulham, and he has not.
Level never got back up there.
It hasn't gone. That 2021 season, dude. I don't think it'll ever get better than that. That was.
And it sucks.
That was a good and bad season for. That was a bad season for Arsenal, but such a good season to watch B and Emil just like those goals against like Tottenham were just ridiculous, like sick goals, awesome goals.
That's at least when you knew something great was on the horizon, whoever was going to be involved. So
you really did. You did know that something was on the. But now we're going in this season, and I'm like, man, who's kit? Who do I get? And I'm like, kind of looking at Eze. I'm thinking pretty heavily on Eze for this year. But also Declan Rice, dude. Like, it's hard not to go for Declan Rice. I already have a Rice kit, but I'm like, damn, dude. Like, this guy's a world. He's a superstar, man. Like, he's so good.
Preston Grazick was trying to say that Declan Rice is average, that anybody could play that position.
Oof,
I was like,
bad take.
No, dog. Like, he's got to be the best center defensive box-to-box midfielder in the world at this moment in time. Like,
yeah.
And then that we were watching the France-Argentina game or France-England game, and then 2 seconds later, Declan's like, "Let me just score one real quick." I'm like, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He's one of the best 8s in the world, and when you have an 8 that it can also could be a 6, it's pretty ridiculous. Like
and then the set piece delivery, it's all around the board.
He could play center back if he wanted to. He could play right back if he wanted to. Like he is one of the most. He's probably the most versatile player that we have on our team. Like truly, he can play
pops in at right back.
He played 3 different positions even last season, and like that's the thing is like, how many times last season did we have a game where the situation would be, okay, we sub out Zubimendi, we put Declan Rice as the 6, and we put in like Mikel Merino, or we put in like Kai in there, or whoever, and it's like, that's what you get with him. Like, oh, we're still rigid defensively, but like at the same time, like now we're going like all out attack, or like you can put Eze in with Martin Odegaard, like it's like crazy combinations you can throw in just to be like, let's just go get a win, you know?
I'm saying Declan will hold it down for the whole team. Also, which jersey would you get this year? And I'm looking at the Arsenal.com right now or whatever, and the only name on the back they got is Champions 26.
Yeah, so you can customize it. You can customize it.
So that's in for a shout too, of course. But would you get the Champions 26? Like, I mean, that's.
I probably wouldn't.
Almost reasonable, but I wouldn't get the 26-27 jersey with a 26 on it. You know what I mean? Like with I would get one from last season if I was gonna get a Champions.
Yeah, 100%.
But
I would get the blue one.
I think Eze. I want the blue one so far too.
Trefoil ones.
You know,
it's so sick.
I always like the trifoils are so nice. I got the blue one from a few years ago, the baby blue. Not sure how many other ones I have, but I just love that. I'm an Adidas snob. The three leaves is perfect. I like this blue one a lot, but I think Eze is definitely the best shout for best player name on the back of the jerseys. The name being perfectly symmetrical, and number 10 is just like, and Eze is just like, he's got the most swagger on the whole team, I feel like, for anybody. When we bought Eze last year at the end of the summer, I was like, that's the one that's pushed it over the line.
Yeah.
So, and he had multiple games too where he clutched it and did that actually. So
oh yeah,
that's what he does. He deserves. I haven't bought a jersey with someone's name on it ever, but I like Eze actually. I would definitely Eze or Saka. I feel like I would consider for sure, just to pay tribute to the guys who have been around for and did it. Obviously, as I just got here, but
Yeah.
he did it. So
The absolute legends. Yeah, here's here I can you can probably see my screen now, but you can get this right here for all the people watching. I'm showing a screen share of basically the Arsenal website and having the different fonts. But you can get the Prem font, which is just meh, but you can get the Arsenal font and like blends in with the jersey. It's crazy.
oh, that's so much prettier.
And then
I go back to
you
that.
you can only get this.
Ooh, it's nice.
You can only get this on Arsenal's website. So if you want this cool print, you have to go on Arsenal website. But it's well worth it. That's usually what I do. If I just get a Prem jersey, I just order from soccer.com. But if I'm gonna get like the special print, like it's gotta, it takes a while
That's
though.
so
Like
nice.
it takes about 2.5 weeks probably for it to come in from the UK. But
Yeah,
oh boy, is it worth it? Is it
that's valid. Yeah, that's beautiful.
you're at the pub and it shows out, man.
It's a little. I didn't know they had that actually. That's sick.
Yeah.
I guess the Prem just has the rules about white or black numbers or something like that. Probably.
Well, Prem has their own font, right? So they're like these are standard the Prem font that they use for anytime you're playing a Prem game. But like the cup, they call it the cup font, and that's for like whenever we're playing in the Carabao, whenever we're playing anything else. It's Champions League specifically like as well. We get to use our own numbers and things like that, which makes it a lot more special. I just don't know. To me, I'm like, why can't we just use this for all games? It would make it a lot more simple, but whatever.
It's not. It's definitely not bothering the referee. And maybe I've never put that together before, but maybe I kind of do recognize it because I feel like when you go watch the Carabao Cup games and you're like, why do they look a little sexier in the jerseys today? Like something just looks a little bit like the colors are all matching. Like that yellow on yellow for this jersey looks sick.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But we still got a third kit to drop, don't we? Or is it
yellow one
leaked enough?
Yeah, it's always leaked, but yeah, I think it'll come out soon. But I think the blue one's the dopest one out of this pack. So
it's pretty.
It's definitely pretty elite.
I agree.
But well, cool. Well, Ryan, thanks so much for hopping on the pod today.
Dude,
joining up, dude. I appreciate it.
Dude, I had a blast. I was super excited. So, thanks for having me.
Of course.
Awesome. Continue to support. And
yes, thank you. I mean,
got to see some of the other lads on there too.
For all the footy listeners right here, we're on YouTube, also all streaming platforms for podcasts. So please give us a listen on all of those. But yeah, if you wanna watch this live on YouTube, we are also gonna be on YouTube as well. So, but thank you all for supporting. Love you guys. Talk to you soon.
Come on, you Gunners.